The Brotherhood, Dion's family, strikes yet again. Bryson Howard, who, I mean, probably the biggest riser of the recruiting cycle. I mean, he let's just say he rose so fast it ended up being a battle between Duke, Kentucky, and UNC for who landed him. And Duke won. Duke got a good one. Last name sounds familiar. Yes, his father is Josh Howard. Which where was Wake at, man? That's a whole different conversation. But
Well, listen, come on now. Like he's the number 11 recruit in the country. That's where Wake was.
yeah. Hey, that just goes to show you the Demon Deacons need to do a better job treating their alumni because they should have at least made like a final eight. I mean, crazy. But yeah, this is I mean, story as old as time. Jon Scheyer lands a star recruit and continues to be the best recruiter in the game. And, you know, as a UNC alum, that absolutely pains me. But like, you got to tip your cap where like the dude's just an absolute all-star at recruiting talent.
Godfather of recruiting at the moment. He, I, I said this a few weeks ago, or maybe G said it and I agreed with it. One of the two. Whoever said it, great individual. When Shire decides, like, I'm not going to send the assistant coaches, I'm going to do this myself, that recruitment's over. Because he sends the assistant coaches for like the first 10 months of a recruiting period. And then he's like, wait, this Bryson Howard guy, I think I want him. You can stay home. I got it from here. And then normally, like, you get a commitment in a few weeks. Shire is a modern day John Calipari, in my opinion. I don't think you are going to always love the X's and O's aspect of Jon Scheyer. He's no JJ Redick, right? Like, I don't know that like players adore playing for JJ Redick. I don't know that they don't either, right? We're on year two of JJ Redick, and I'm only comparing the two because they're Duke guys. Um, Players adore playing for Jon Scheyer. I don't think his X's and O's are as good as JJ Redick's. I think if an out of bounds set, JJ Redick's going to come up with something magical. And Shire is probably going to pass it to his best player and make him go to his weak hand, which is crazy. But that's just who Shire is, right? Like his X's and O's leave a little bit to be desired, but he's going to have some of the most talented rosters around. And next year is going to be no different. In fact, I think this Duke team is going to have the least amount of turnover of any Duke team we've seen in the Shire era. Cam's gone. That legitimately might be it.
Yeah.
I think year two Slim's going to be special. I don't know what's going to be different for Isaiah Evans that's going to get him drafted, though. This draft class is way deeper, way stronger. Nick Kamini, I think, probably has the second best chance of going to the league. Big Pat is mocked to the Warriors in the late 20s. Late 20s, get that right, because we're back. Late 20s, but like maybe Big Pat goes, but like ultimately even if you lose Big Pat, like I think you're okay. And I like Big Pat's game a lot. So I don't know. If let's say you lost Cam, Kamini, and Big Pat, those would be like the three most likely to go at the moment. You still have Isaiah Evans, you still have Caden Boozer, you still have Darren Harris, you still have Dame Sarr, you still have all these guys, and then you're also going to bring in Bryson Howard. I believe you're going to bring in Jordan Smith Jr. I believe you're going to bring in some of these other guys, and it's just like, hey, this is like the going to be the best mix of vet and freshman that I think Duke has ever seen, and I'm talking about like next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be the scariest part about Bryson Howard is like we really don't know just how good he's going to be. But when you see a guy start the summer unranked and end as the number 12 recruit and is a five-star, that progression in a short amount of time without being around like a Duke staff, I mean, it's pretty insane. Obviously, like when your dad plays in the NBA, you already know like probably have the genetics. He's 6'4". The frame is crazy. Like I don't know, man. It kind of scares me how good like he could be. Like if he's rising this fast. Also, just to go to the Shire and Reddick stuff, Reddick need to worry about Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield. So, we ain't
Listen,
worried about JJ Reddick on the X's and
listen,
O's.
listen. The whole league need to worry about us.
Nah, ain't
The
nobody
whole
worried about
league
that.
need to
By
worry
game 70, the retirement home gonna be open. But
about how this works.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too? Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion.
Whole league
but
needs to notice.
yeah, it is gonna be. I'm very curious to see the complimentary pieces. Who else Shire gets? Because if we know one thing about Shire, it's usually at least three studs per recruiting class. So I'm very curious to see how it all pans out. But I mean, if Bryson Howard and I do, the Jordan Smith Jr. stuff, like it's getting there. And if those two are the foundational pieces of your recruiting class, probably going to have another really elite top five recruiting class. So it's like, man, Shire just he's just a special recruiter, man. Like he has it figured out. Like not only does he, utilize these guys' best abilities, like he got the most out of Khan last year. Obviously, Cooper's Cooper, so that would have happened anywhere. But he got the most out of Khan last year, and like he knows how to not only make these guys look good and boost their draft stock, but also be able to kind of guarantee them like you're gonna have a chance to compete for a title here too. It's not just about the player development, and I don't know. He's approaching that prime Calipari level of like he's getting who he wants.
Yeah, no, like he's literally modern day Calipari. Salute Calipari because it's not like Calipari's gone anywhere. He just casually had his own top five recruiting class, is casually about to do it again. So like that just goes to show how great of a coach Calipari is like all time. But Shire is this generation's Calipari. When Shire gets involved in a recruitment with you, you don't want that smoke. Like Mark Pope's a great recruiter, in my opinion. I think Mark Pope does a phenomenal job putting rosters together. Pope don't want that smoke. Um, Todd Golden, defending national champion. I promise Todd Golden don't want that smoke if Shire gets involved. Like once Shire gets involved in something, it's typically over, and there's really there's no denying it at this point. Like he's put class after class after class together. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's some question marks about his coaching ability and kind of like getting over that finish line and that hump. The fact that we have those question marks, though, he's been a coach for 3 years. Like he's in year four, and we're discussing like why doesn't he have a national title? That shows the rosters he's put together. Because year four, anybody else, we're not like, well, what's taking so long? That's how special he's been at recruiting. And by the way, he was special doing it before he became a head coach too. He carried the back half of some of those Coach K recruiting classes in his own right. That's what got him the job.
Last thing on Bryson Howard. Like I mentioned earlier, we've seen the fast rise. Next year at Duke, does the rise continue? He ends up being like a one and done lotto pick. Is he a one and done late half of the first round, early half of the second round guy, or is Bryson Howard a guy who plays multiple years at Duke?
No. Well, so tough to say with Duke. A typical school, I think Bryson Howard is the one and done. If Kameni and Dame Star are back though, like yeah, I mean he's probably still at Duke for his second year, right? Like that's just kind of the breaks of when you go to Duke. Like you're almost committing to like this might take me a second type of thing.
Yeah, kind of like we're seeing with Darren Harris.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, another special recruiting job by Jon Scheyer. Congratulations to Bryson Howard. I mean, going to be an absolute stud at the next level, I think. Looking forward to watching him, even though he's going to be in Duke Blue. And just so y'all know, Cart, I'm coming for you. That Maxie Adams pivot is special.